What's up, guys? We're here at the golf course. Check out the new Garmin S70 watch. It was just released last week. There's been a ton of hype surrounding this watch, and today we're taking through all of its paces. And we're gonna see if this really is the best golf watch of the year. So let's do this. So we're here at the course. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit the action button, just upper right-hand corner, and it's say play golf. And one thing you guys see note right away is how bright this and crisp this screen looks. As you can see, we're looking for satellites right now, and it only took like a second, which is a huge improvement over the S62 and the S42 because it would take about 10 to 15 seconds. So, all right, so it knows we're playing at Ken McDonald this morning. Now it asks us, what do we want to keep score? And we say yes. And then it's going to ask what tees we're playing. Now we're playing middle, and it's ready to go. It automatically knows what hole we're on. So we're on hole number 10, we're playing the back 9, and we're ready to hit our first shot. Now that's just pretty amazing how fast that whole process took. Now, if you want to change screens or anything, what you can do is you can hit the middle button and you go to settings. And here you actually can change the watch face. And there's lots of watch faces you can choose from. That first one is the one I have, but as you can see, there's tons of them. There's the green, there's lots of different designs, and they're all really cool and bright and crisp. So it's really whatever your flavor is that you like. Let's say I want to keep this one for right now. Then what you just do is you hit the red button, you say apply, and then that's my new screen. So it's really cool. You can change it to lots of different screen functions in just a few seconds. So the middle button, here you can access your settings, which we just kind of looked at a second ago. You can also lock the device. You have your controls, you have your wallet, which is similar to Apple Pay. You have different clocks. The Find My Phone feature does work. It's very loud and it's very annoying. So it's a great way of finding your phone. You can put in Do Not Disturb or sleep mode or whatever you want. Now here are settings. You have your golf settings, your alerts, your watch face we just looked at. Now sensors and accessories. But if you already have the CT10 trackers, but it was already paired to my S62, what you have to do is you do have to add it to the watch. It doesn't automatically like come across. So it only took me a few seconds because the Garmin already knew I had these CT10s and which club it went to. It just had to be paired to this watch. So it took about maybe 5 minutes, and I got all my club sensors set. So right here you can see my club sensors and everything is all set. And I highly recommend getting the CT10s because it just makes so much more accurate the information it's giving you. So in regular watch mode, you can push the red action button, and here it's going to go to play golf. But then also you see these 4 colored buttons here, which you tap that, and here you can do other activities, right? So if you were going to run, you're biking, strength training, anything you want. And this watch is fully capable of being a multi-purpose watch. It's not just a golf watch. It's a watch used for anybody that wants to use it as an everyday watch, but also use it for any other activities. Now, if you want to add more, you can here. So there's tons and tons and tons to add. So you go add, there's just it keeps on going forever. There's just tons of options. And then the watch will also act as, let's say, a backcountry skiing watch or a rowing watch. It's just so cool how you can just go to these widgets and use them in whatever mode you want. So the watch is showing us to hit a 9-iron right now. It's 137 yards to the pin. So let's see if I can get it next to the green. All right, so it looks like I had a pretty good shot there. Was a little bit left to pin, but the right club. So it showed we hit a 9-iron. We hit the 9-iron and look where it landed. So let's go ahead and hit this putt, see how it turns out. So what's really cool too about the green feature is you click here, say view green, and it actually shows you all the undulations. So it's like everything's moving, sloping towards the right, towards the lake, as you guys can kind of see right there. So it's breaking a little bit right, something a little bit left. And let's see if I can get it close to the pin, maybe birdie this hole. Nice putt. Man, I'm hitting it like a grandma today. Bam! Gotta love that par. All right, let's move on to the next hole. So as you guys can see, the screen is so bright. That's what I love about this S70. But on this last hole, we got a 3. So if you want to change your score, you go, plus or minus here, plus or minus, and then you go next. And how many putts I had 2. and then we're on to the next hole. So let's kind of go over some of the numbers here we see on the screen. The 411 is the back of the green, 397 is the center, and 382 is to the front. Now if you see, the D down here is telling us that we should use our driver. Now what's cool is you can swipe up and down right here and really kind of it dials in when you can do it with the Garmin app. So here it says what the temperature's like, the slope, the weather, and it plays like it's 391. So then it kind of goes back to that screen. So that's a cool new feature with the S70. All right, so in this shot, the watch is telling us that we're about 139-ish to the pin, so it's telling me to use a pitching wedge. So let's go ahead and use a pitching wedge and see how I do. Kind of fat. Yeah, a little fat there, but it's okay. All right, so the watch is telling me to use we're 34 yards out. So I'm gonna use a sand wedge. Nice, nice, nice. Par, 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 par. So on the right side of the screen, what we have is you can actually click on it so it zooms in and you can actually scroll, which is a really cool new ability on the watch. You can actually zoom in, zoom out as well. So to zoom in, zoom out, there's a little white bar right here. You just kind of slide it up and down. How cool is that? And then you can scroll and to find out exactly where you need to go. So if I pinpoint there, it's 307, 310. I can't hit that far. But I can probably hit that red line. So about maybe at 260. So let me try that for the shot, but it's really cool. You can scroll on the screen itself as well as zoom in. I think they land exactly where we want it. Let's check it out. Okay, so it's really cool is we were aiming right in this spot, and I'll show you in a second. So let's back out, and you can see where the yellow diamond is. That's where we're at, and that's literally where we're aiming. So it's like 256. So it said I went 242 according to the top of it. So 242, but nice approach shot here, and it's really cool how you can really dial in your shots and dial in where you need to go and your yardages with the S70. All right, so it's showing me I'm at 93 out, and the gap wedge is the club to choose from. A little short? Oh, I'm not. It definitely was the right club to hit. That's awesome. Wow, this is amazing with the CT10 trackers and the S70, how this caddy feature really knows what it's talking about. I am just blown away. So I want to kind of go over some of the other features with the S70. So here's the action button. If you click this, it takes you to the screen. And we do the view green mode, which is really cool, as you can see all the sloping. We showed that earlier, but you can also kind of like pinpoint where you're at on the green, which we're not on the green yet. We're actually coming to approach shot. So if you want to back out, you hit this bottom button and it backs you right out of it. If you hit there again, here you can change your hole. There you can look at your scorecard. And then pinpointer mode is if you're like behind a tree, you don't know where you're at. See, it shows exactly where you need to go to hit your shot. And again, hit the back button to get out of that. The wind, you can get weather data if you're plugged into the Garmin app. You have the round info, the measured shot feature, which has on top of the screen normally, also shows when we're hitting our shots, but also you can do it here and you can actually measure your shot. Here you can see your club stats. If you click this, you can see all the different clubs and it'll tell you all the different stats on each club and what you normally get. Go back to that screen. Here you can do custom targets, sunrise, sunset, your settings, and your round. So that's what you do with the action button. All you do is hit the red button and it'll take you to that screen. Now I got mine from our good friends at PaulLibratore.com. They're huge supporters of our show. So there's links down below to check out the Garmin S70 watch. That was a pretty putt. So let's go ahead and get par. All right, parred that hole too. Nice. Now the first thing I want to talk about is how amazing this display looks. So the S70 comes in two sizes. It comes in a 1.4 or a 1.2 inch AMOLED display. Now the S62 didn't have an AMOLED display. It had a regular color display. Now this is the 47 millimeter and it comes in black. It's the larger one of the two. And this only weighs 56 grams. And what's really cool, it has a ceramic bezel and a silicone band, so it's super comfortable. Now the battery life can last up to 16 hours on this thing in smartwatch mode, but then in GPS mode, it'll last about 20 hours, and it has 23,000 courses. Now there's also a 1.2 display, so the 42 millimeter, which is a little bit smaller than this, and that one comes in both white and gray, and it weighs a little bit less, has a little bit less battery life, about 10 days of battery life, and about 15 hours in GPS mode. So right out of the gate, the S70 is a huge upgrade over the S62, which really, to be honest, was my favorite watch. All right, so I got a brand new driver here. I've never hit it. All right, so on that last drive, the new driver that I've never hit before hit 247, and I cannot believe where it landed. You guys can see it's like the perfect spot. Right now, the watch is telling us 7-iron. It's about 178. I think we're on, dude. So that was the right call. I would totally trust what this caddy's saying, because I said hit a 7-iron. I hit the 7-iron. We're about 14 feet from the pin. And if you see where we're at, that's just crazy how accurate the CT10 and the trackers on the S70 are together. It's a very strong system to use, especially when trying to dial in your game. That was birdie. Well, I didn't miss that putt that time. It's par. So pretty happy about that. And then the round is done, and it knows the round is done. And so here we can either resume the round, pause the round, end the round, or edit the score. Here I got a 44, and now it's showing all of our stats. So I'm 8 over today, which isn't too bad for me. So I'm gonna hit end round, save your scorecard, and then save your scorecard. This will also be saved on the Garmin app so that you can access your scores there. And then it goes right back to regular golf mode. So in regular mode, it's really cool because you can actually use this as an everyday watch. And I've had this thing for the last week and a half. I actually took it to California with me, and it just blows my mind how awesome this watch is. I wore it every single day, and I think I only lost about 50% battery life in about a week and a half time. But the normal screen display, as you can see here, you can change this display out. So right now you can show the upper left-hand corner. It shows like my last round, which I shot a 44. I burned 1,322 calories today and had almost 5,000 steps. It's 8:30 in the morning. And then you can see what my heart rate is and what the battery's life is at 82% right now. Now, if you swipe up, it's gonna show you the weather, any kind of notifications, your calendar, your sunrise, your sunset, your heart rate, again, your steps, your golf information. So my about 15.6. I'm about 16 right now, so it's actually pretty cool. It's actually close. My last round I played, and then you can also do my sleep here. Now what you can also do is you can hit the bottom right-hand corner, back out of it, and it goes back to that screen. So if you swipe up, now you can edit this too, and you can add more widgets, right? So if I wanted to add like something else, I can add something else, or I can take stuff away. To be honest, I'm just blown away with the Garmin S70 watch. Now, I was a huge fan of the Garmin S62, but the S70 just blows it out of the water. I mean, with an Amoled display, crystal clear graphics, and way more functionality than the S62, the S70 is probably one of the best golf watches I've ever owned. But if you want to see what we thought of the Garmin S62, the precursor to the S70, then check out this video right here when we put it to the test. And I'll see you in the next video.